So I just calculated how many books I have on my physical TBR. And you guys, I am embarrassed. I had to do a recount because the numbers just didn't seem like they were adding up. So I did a recount. As of this moment, I have 630 books on my physical TBR. That's not a good thing. That's way too many books. So this is an impromptu video. We're just gonna read some books. That's it. There's no rhyme or reason to the books that I'm about to pick. Actually, one second. I have my trash can. My trashy romance novels are my thing trash can. And I had gotten this trash can in a Willow Winters book box. And it has some prompts in it for, you know, TBR prompts. And because choosing books off of TBR is kind of difficult, right? You don't know what you want to read and you'll sit there forever like scrolling through Netflix. You spend hours trying to figure what you want to read just to get frustrated and not read or watch anything, right? So I'm gonna let the trash can pick so that I don't have to sit here trying to figure out what I actually want to read. Wish me luck. I'm gonna pick 4 prompts. I'm gonna pick 4 prompts and then I'm gonna tell you what the prompts are. I'm gonna pick the 4 prompts. I'm gonna tell you what they are. But when I figure out what books fit the prompts, I'll be back. So, shake, shake, shake. 4 prompts. Just so that we can start getting some of these books off. Hold on. Move you over. There we go. All right. Oh, one fell out, but here's one. Here's one right here. I'll put that one back. Okay, what is this first prompt? Oh. Read a retelling. Can you see that? Read a retelling. And I love a retelling. So that's one. Here's another one. Read a book with a blue cover. I don't know if you can see that, but that's that one. 2 more. I'm trying to get all the way down there. Let me do another. Okay. Oh. I'm gonna pick this one. Okay. A book that is set in the last 10 years. A book that's set in the last 10 years. That might also be something I can do without trying. Because recently I have picked up a lot of books that came out in the early 2000s and the 1990s. Final prompt. I don't know about this. A book featuring a robot. Ooh, I think I might have something for this. I think. Give me a moment. Let me figure this one out. I'll be right back. Okay, so I think I have curated a TBR for this video that will match those prompts. A book that is set in the last 10 years. I just took that to mean from 2016 to 2026. This new book by Dan Brown, The Secret of Secrets, is the 6th and I hope the final book in the Robert Langdon series. I am 50% in. It is taking me quite a bit to read this. If you felt how heavy this book is, you would understand why it's taking me so long. Like, there's so much going on in this book. But yeah, I can finish this one in this video. Then we have read a retelling. So we have Never by Jessa Hastings. And I think this has to be Peter Pan. It has to be. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me tell you about the secret of secrets. So Robert Langdon, esteemed professor of symbology, has traveled to Prague to attend a groundbreaking lecture by Catherine Solomon, a prominent noetic scientist with whom he has recently begun a romantic relationship. Catherine is on the verge of publishing a breakthrough book that contains explosive scientific discoveries about the nature of human consciousness, revelations that threaten to disrupt centuries of established belief. That's what the secret of secrets is. And Robert Langdon is always in some mess with somebody, and I hope he retires after this book. Dan Brown needs to retire this man. But like I said, Never by Jessa Hastings. This is a retelling. I believe it's supposed to be a retelling because I didn't even look at the back. And if it's not, you're going to have to give me one more second so I can go find a retelling that I have not read in my TBR. Growing up, Daphne always knew Peter Pan would come for her the way he'd come for her mother and her grandmother, Wendy, before that, the Darling Girls. Their stories are all the same, the forever young boy at their window after their 13th birthday and the shimmering magical land behind a star. So it is a retelling of Peter Pan. I love a Peter Pan retelling, but I just DNF'd Nowhere Burning because that was a bad Peter Pan retelling in my opinion. So let's hope this one is better. Now, the next prompt was a book with a robot in it. Now, I don't think I have any books with robots in them, but she is a little robotic. She has some AI going on here, an artificial intelligence arm kind of thing. Robotics is going on here, right? But this is War Girls by Tochi Onyebuchi, and let's see, the year is 2172. We're approaching this. Climate change and nuclear disasters have rendered much of Earth unlivable. Only the lucky ones have escaped to space colonies in the sky. In a war-torn Nigeria, battles are fought using flying, deadly mechs, and soldiers are outfitted with bionic limbs and artificial organs meant to protect them from the harsh, radiation-heavy climate. Across the nation, as the years-long civil war wages on, survival becomes the only way of life. Two sisters, Anya and Iffy, dream of more. I'm gonna leave it there. So it's given AI. So it's given robotics, mechanics, mechs, as it's said here. So I think this one does that prompt justice. And the last prompt was read a book with a blue cover. He's on the beach. It's blue. At least it is to me. That's what I see. So it's going to be blue today, okay? But it's called Casa Negra. This is Blair Underwood with Tananarive Dew and Stephen Barnes. I got this from Goodwill. You can tell by these color stickers that be on the spine. But look at them all on the back of this this book. The author pictures that take up like the whole back of the cover really do piss me off. I don't know why. But anyway, let's see what this book is even about. Okay, Casa Negra follows the adventures of Tennyson Hardwick, a gorgeous, sexy actor and former gigolo, living on the fringes of the good life in Hollywood. This story, which chronicles the redemption of a prodigal son, combines the glamour of Hollywood with the seedy, hopelessness of the inner city. So this is a hot and steamy mystery. I hope it's good. So that's 4 books. If we do completely finish them and like them, we will keep them. But even if we do not, 4 books that get to come off my TBR. I need to start reading my TBR. I am stuck in this audiobook phase right now because of internship, because I'm driving 40 minutes to internship, 40 minutes back. I'm in that place. I am also still in my master's degree program. I have about 5.5 months left. So school is a big thing as well. I need to start prioritizing more of my physical TBR because it's growing, because I don't stop buying books. That's something I'm not going to stop doing. But I need to I'm pumping the brakes right now. Pumping the brakes on the buying of extra books because the physicals need to be read. So this is the TBR for this video, and I'll check back in when, I think maybe when I finish this one, but like I said, I'm 50% in on this one. There's no reason for me to really tell you guys what this is about if you haven't read the other 5 books, but Robert Langdon, like I said, he's a symbologist, he's in Prague, and as things always turn out, when he's in Prague, he's not there for any big reason, but everything always turns into a cataclysmic event. And the woman that he has started this romantic relationship with, her manuscript seems to be at the pinnacle of the turmoil in this book, because she has come across some really belief-shattering findings, and she was about to publish them, and I'm guessing the powers that be really don't want her to publish this manuscript because it would challenge what people believe in, what they know, what they don't know, how they see themselves, how they see the world, and give knowledge to those who should not have it. And so her life is in danger. They've already destroyed every copy of this damn manuscript except for one, but that one just got destroyed by Robert Langdon because he was basically telling her, like, girl, we want to live, and if we want to live and they chasing us for a manuscript and we burn the damn manuscript, they won't be chasing us because there ain't shit to chase us for, period. So now there's no copies of this manuscript, but I'm 50% in, so I don't know what the rest of this book is. That's all that's happened in the first 50%, right? What is the rest of it? I don't know. Maybe when I come back with more on this or one of these other books, I'll come back. Let me show you what I just got off the TikTok shop, since I'm gonna sit here rambling anyway. So I have several coloring books, adult coloring books, and I have really nothing to color with. I have coloring pencils, but that's not enough. So I was on a TikTok shop and I saw that they were doing these markers for $19.99. And let me show you, there's some that have fallen, but all of these for $1.99. I'm scared that they're all gonna fall, but yep, all of this was for $19.99. Did I say $1.99? $19.99. And so that's exactly what I'm about to do. I am about to possibly color. I'm not good at coloring. I'm not good at color theory. I'm not good at any of those things. I didn't have the type of childhood that garnered focus on that kind of stuff. So in my ripe older age, I am into having fun, and fun consists of anything that I want it to be, and coloring is one of those things. So let me show you one of the coloring books that I do want to color in. So this is my Indigo Dream Journal by Aubrey Penn. It says Penny right there. Aubrey Penn is an hybrid author. She is mostly indie, but she has done some traditional, some trad work before. It says Free to Dream. I'm gonna show you a couple of pages on the inside. It is a journal, but it also has coloring pages. So this is the journal part of it. This is the journal part where you can journal. It has some prompts and some things, but this is the journal part. But it also has the coloring pages. And this journal is from a book that I read by Aubrey Penn, which was Indigo Haze, which was the omnibus version. But that's the book that I have. So the omnibus version of this, I think it's 4-book series. I have the omnibus of it, Indigo Haze, and they're in California. Aubrey Penn, in her book, she loves gangbangers. So they are gangbangers. It's a gangbanger romance, but it has these pages, these coloring pages, but it also has places where you can draw. It also had it has Sudoku in it. It has gratitude journaling. So yeah, so I have this. I have a couple other coloring books, but I wanted to get some of those coloring markers so that I could color, because I didn't really have anything. Also, before I let you go, I got this book from the library, Marcus Redmond's Blood Slaves. I heard it was really good. And I am a vampire girly, so this is right up my alley. I need to read this before it's due because I've already renewed it once. That might not be happening for this video because we have our set TBR, but also this book has been sweeping TikTok. The Killer Isn't Alice. I think this is going to be fun for me. It is 46,000 suspects, and it's giving you, I think it's 17 or 18 clues, instructions and clues, and chapter by chapter with just names in it. You get to find who the killer is if the killer isn't Alice. Oh my goodness. And I haven't heard anyone say they finished this or got to the point where they know who the killer actually is. So yeah, I just wanted to show y'all all of my irresponsible decisions. So I have you on this kind of janky stand. So please don't fall over. But I've read one chapter from each one of the books. I think I went into 3 chapters of this one, but only one chapter of this one, and the first chapter was long as hell. And I haven't gotten any further into here, but that's why I turned on the camera, because I am about to delve into each one of these books a little bit more. Today is Monday. I did the intro to this video Sunday, last night. I woke up this morning, I went to my internship, and I am not just getting in, but you know, after about 40 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes of just woosah after my day, and now I am ready to read and watch some television and wind down. So that's what I'm about to do. More so watch television and then get into the reading. Now, let me know if you guys are watching or have watched the show From. I am invested. I am in chapter? Whoa. I am in season 4. Season 1 was amazing. Like, I was hooked from the beginning. I had to go get the MGM app through Prime app, and so now I'm paying for MGM. I don't watch anything on MGM but From, and now I'm paying for that. But yeah, From is the only show right now that I'm watching. Let me know what's your favorite character, what's your most into finding out from the show. I haven't gotten past episode 3 in season 4, but season 1, 2, and 3 we can discuss if you want to in the comments, but do not spoil anything past episode 3 in season 4, please. Don't do it. I want to know more about the man in the yellow suit. I really want to know what was going on before, when Victor was there for so long, like with his family, with his mom and his sister, what they had been through, especially with the man who was drawing the symbols. I want to know that. What the hell is Aunt Cooey? And the most annoying characters to me are Julie and her mama. Her daddy was annoying, but now that he done, you know, bit the bullet in season 4, episode 1, he's no longer annoying because he's not there. But them other two, Julie and her mama, annoy the hell out of me. There's nothing wrong with Ethan to me, but her mama and Julie, I can't stand them. From episode 1, first episode, could not stand them. Irritated me to my soul. Because what person realizes we're in a town where they're talking about monsters and you want to go live in a house where you don't know nobody. You literally don't know nobody. I can get on board with her being upset at her parents for kind of like forgetting that they have 2 other kids because they were grieving. However, that's where conversation comes in, and that's where them parents start getting on my nerves, because y'all are grieving. You didn't stop to think that maybe our 2 children are grieving, and now we're about to go through a divorce, so they're going to be grieving twice as hard. They're grieving the loss of their newborn sibling, and they're grieving the family structure. But no, it's all about my grief and me alone. But that mama she really got on my nerves. But anyway, I think I'm about to watch some TV, and then I'll get into reading these books and telling you more about them, because right now I have nothing. Right now I have nothing for you when it comes to the books. But let's get into it. Hi everyone, my name's... So I fear this video is not going to be going the way I hoped it would, because so far we have 2 DNFs. Let's get into Blair Underwood's Casa Negra with Tanana Reed and Stephen Barnes. This was for the prompt, read a book, I believe with a blue cover. Yeah, read a book with a blue cover. And this one is a bust. I got 52 to 56 pages in, and I'm not interested in stories like this. I thought he already was a detective. He's not. So our main character, Tennyson, is basically a gigolo. Like, he's slaying dick for money. A woman that he recently had sex with, who also was a friend in that way, was murdered. And now he's like, I'm going to find out who did it, because if I don't, it's going to turn on me. And you slaying dick for money. What makes you think that you could solve cases? Yeah, this one is not for me. And the main character looks like and is Blair Underwood. That's what you're supposed to think. And he is 90s and early 2000s fine for, this look, this face. That everything about Blair Underwood said sexy. Early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. You might not get it, but I get it. I understand what I'm trying to say. But so you're supposed to picture this man when you're reading this book. It's a no for me, dog. Because just no. So the next book, the prompt was, what was the prompt for this one? A book featuring a robot. And so this is very sci-fi. As you can see, her arm with the robotic arm. This one was also a no for me, because I am a very visual reader. So I'm reading, I'm picturing things. Here I'm not picturing. I couldn't picture it. I couldn't put the story together, and it just did not work for me. And again, I got about 50 pages into this one as well, and it just wasn't doing it for me. So not only am I DNFing these books on their own, this one is a 4-book series. This one I believe is a duology. And though I love the covers, I will not be finishing or continuing on in these series, obviously, because I'm stopping here at the first one. And this one, even though this is my first Blair Underwood book, I didn't even know he was an author until I saw this. When it comes to Tochi Onyebuchi, I have attempted to read another book by him, and that one I also DNF'd. So Tochi Onyebuchi, for me, may not be the author just for me, right? He may have great writing, but it just may not be for me, because I see on the back he also wrote Beast Made of Night and Crown of Thunder, which I've heard is a really good series, but I fear he just may not be the author for me, and that is absolutely fine. But that's 2-0. I have nothing else for that. Now, I told you all I had gotten 50% in on a book that is set in the last 10 years, and that would be Dan Brown. I don't know what I got on this, but Dan Brown's The Secret of Secrets. I'm about, I want to say about 60% in now. I'm about 60% in, and I need to take a break. Dan Brown and his shenanigans are hurting my head. So this is not one. I also will not be finishing this book in this video. I'm going to set this down. It's a soft DNF for right now. I'll pick it up on my own at a later date, but it won't be this one. It just won't. I can't be bothered with this right now. But no shocker, Never by Jessica Hastings. I only read the first chapter, and and it was a long one. It was a 19 pages for a first chapter, and it's no surprise that because it's a retelling, I am having a great time. I am enjoying this one a lot. Basically, we have, as always, we have Peter Pan, a history of Peter Pan coming to the Darlings' windows, and in this particular case, this darling girl has a mother, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother who have all passed down the stories of Peter Pan visiting their windows when they were young. But this young girl grows up hearing those stories, preparing herself for Peter Pan to come to her window, and her mother and her grandmother as well, preparing her by opening her windows at night. So not only does this girl go to bed with her windows closed, her grandmothers or mother come into her room, make sure they're open, unlocked, not like literally open, but unlocked and sometimes literally open, so that Peter Pan can come in. And she goes years without ever seeing or meeting Peter Pan, so much so that she begins to think that Peter Pan is just a story that her family, the women in her family, tell to their children. I forgot what year this is. This is not modern day either. This is, I want to say, the 1800s. I forgot what year. But when she turns around the time of her 17th year, Peter Pan does come to her window, but he's also not a little boy anymore. So she's about to go off to college, and she had been preparing herself to see a little boy, Peter Pan. And when he shows up, he's not a little boy, he's grown. He's like 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, that range right there. And she's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "You have to know me." And she's like, "I don't." And he's like, "I'm Peter and you're Wendy." And she's like, "I am not Wendy." And I found it funny because no matter what story I read, Peter Pan is very playful, very forgetful, very unknowing, very childlike, but also very sinister. And in this one, he's not sinister as of yet. At least in the first chapter, he's not sinister or predatory, even though coming to women's windows, don't get me started. But yeah, so I'm enjoying this one. She just made the decision to go to Neverland with Peter for the summer before she has to go to college. And that's where I am. I'm enjoying this one, so I am going to continue this one. But I think we should at least pull one more prompt, at least one more, so that this video has more than just this as a win. Because even if I don't like this book, I know for a fact I'm going to finish it. So we'll have 1 to our 3, because right now I'm 3-0. 3-0. Even though I went halfway into Secret of Secrets, I'm 3-0. Let's pull one more prompt. And our next read will be, let's hope something good. Okay, start a new duology. Like, I haven't been starting things my whole life. Like, that's what my whole reading is, starting stuff and not finishing it. But let me find a duology to start. Give me a minute. So for the prompt, start a new duology that we just picked, I'm gonna go with the Book of Tea series. This is a duology. I have both books, obviously. A Magic Steeped in Poison, A Venom Dark and Sweet. This is book 2, so we're starting a duology. That would be this book right here. We'll see how this goes. Again, if I like this, I can keep this. If I DNF this, obviously, that's 2 books that I get to take off of my TBR. But I will let you all know how these go. I am excited to read it because I've had it on my TBR for at least 2 years now. Why is it just sitting there? Let's read them. Let's enjoy the reading. Let's enjoy the book. We have 1 new book to add to this TBR. Let's hope we have some wins in this video. I need a win. I need at least 1 good win. Let's get back into the reading. So I'm not gonna lie, this video started off as, hey, I want to read some of my own physical TBR books, and it turned into a bust at first. At first, that was my mindset. This video is a bust and maybe I should just scrap it. But ultimately, this is a reading journey. This is you finding what you like to read, enjoying that, and then you picking up books, especially if you let them sit on your TBR for too long, and something that you might have enjoyed even just a few months prior, a year prior, you no longer are interested in, don't have any need, want, care for the topic or the book or the author. That could happen. So this video produced nothing really that I want to keep on my shelves. Let's get into it. So I pulled prompts that just help me choose some books off my shelves. So let's get into Blair Underwood with Tananarive Due and Stephen Barnes, Casa Negra, I DNF'd. This was for the prompt, read a book with a blue cover, and it was a no for me. This is just not, I don't like people who aren't detectives becoming detectives. Like, what do you mean you gonna go snooping around and find out who the killer is when this is not what you do? And how does it come to you so easily to know? It's just, it pisses me off. So this is a no for me. The next one was War Girls by Tochian Yabuchi. This is the second book that I've DNF'd by this author. However, both are sci-fi. So maybe sci-fi from this author, or maybe even sci-fi in general, just may not be for me. But this prompt was a book featuring a robot. And though this book doesn't, I think, necessarily have robots, it does have artificial intelligence, and it does have mechs and robotics in general. So I chose this one and I DNF'd it as well. This was not vivid enough in my mind when I was reading. I felt like it was just words on the page. Nothing in here was sinking in. So I DNF'd it. Now for this book, I was excited to pre-order. Like, I pre-ordered this. I was excited to continue into the Robert Langdon world. But this is Dan Brown, The Secret of Secrets. This is the 6th book in the Robert Langdon series. And I got 50% in. And I think I started this video when I was 50% in. And I got to like 60% in. And trust me, this book is heavy as hell. This book is dense. But by the 60% mark, I'm like, didn't we just figure out everything we need to figure out? What was left? Like, I was still so confused. Like, what is left? Robert, you're pissing me off. What is left? And so, though I'm not officially DNFing this, I'm soft DNFing because it was starting to piss me off, just because what else is left? We kind of solved what we needed to solve. We kind of figured, like, I saw what I needed to see. Why are there still words after the 50% mark? So yeah, we're just soft DNFing this. I'll pick it up at another time. And the prompt for this one, I almost forgot, was a book that is set in the last 10 years. And this one is very, very much more recent than all the rest of them I've already shown you. So yeah, this one is just going to go back on the shelf. Next was Start a New Duology, and that one kind of pissed me off because I'm in the middle of so many series as it is. However, Start a New Duology. The duology I decided to start was The Book of Tea. So A Magic Steeped in Poison. It has 2 books, and this one I also got, I think it was 25% in, and I was bored. It's YA. The writing is just not for me, and that doesn't, I'm not saying that this book isn't a good book. It's just not the book for me. And therefore, since it is part of a duology, I am going to unhaul book 2, A Venom Dark and Sweet by Judy Eileen. Both of these books, one I DNF, the other one, if I'm not going to finish the first, there's no reason to, go into the second. Read a retelling. Now, my reading taste is heavily romantic. My reading taste is heavily retellings of any kind, of any sort, of any genre, and usually it works. This is the love triangle from hell, like literally. And there's so many things that makes this book not good. The world of it, it's interesting, but it's not dove into well enough. And that's the thing. The world of Peter Pan is pretty mapped out for you, so you can do, and it's fantastical and magical. You can literally do whatever it is that you want to do. But for 300 and almost 50 pages, this 17-year-old girl, Daphne, until she turns 18, is going back and forth between Pan and Hook. And Hook is not the original Hook, okay? The Hook that is in this book is Captain Hook's son, Jameson Hook, okay? Jameson is about 22, Daphne is 17. Peter is about the same age, 22, and he is a forgetful child. He is also, Jameson Hook says it best in this book, a womanizing toddler. Okay, it's very aware that he is a prick. I read a comment on Goodreads, a review on Goodreads that basically said Daphne is a dummy because she keeps falling for Peter Pan and she keeps driveling at his feet kind of thing, right? And that is very true, but also everyone does. It's not just Daphne. It's the mermaids. It's funny thing is it's not all of the fairies, but it is the fairies. It's Calla Lily, not Tiger Lily, but it is Calla Lily who falls for who they're all in love with this now man child, right? And so are the Lost Boys. The problem with this book isn't the back and forth between Peter Pan and Hook more so. It's the fact that Daphne is dense when she finds Lost Boys that are no longer lost, right? Okay, they've been found elsewhere outside of Peter Pan's camp. And she's happy to see them because when she asks Peter, hey, where's such and such? Where's this one? Where's that one? And he's like, oh, he found his brother. He found his mother. He found his father. And he never brings it up again. But she comes across, I think it's like 2 or 3 of them outside of Peter Pan's camp. And she's like, oh my God, how is your brother? How's your mother? You know, Peter told me you found your people. And he was like, girl, that man dumped me on the island and left me for dead. And so Jameson, we're going to call him Jam Hook is like, hey, Peter's not a good person. Like, he drops the boys off when they get too old, when they start to age up a little bit. He drops them off and totally forgets. And she's like, well, yeah, he's a forgetful person. He doesn't do it on purpose. Says the girl he tied to a tree in a maze and let the Minotaur come after her ass. Says the girl who was tied up in a boat, and he said, girl, because that's what he calls her, girl, I'll be back. I'm gonna fight the pirates, but I'll be back for you. And she almost drowned because he forgot that she existed. Literally forgot. That's the problem with this book, is Daphne's full character. It's not the fact of the instances on why Peter forgets. We really don't care about that. I cared about the fact that he's feeding them medicine. That's what he calls it to the Lost Boys because they're children. It's medicine. They're like, well, we don't like it, but it wipes their memories. It keeps them in this euphoric state of happiness and not being taken care of, not caring about that. And she also takes it knowing that, why are you taking medicine? You're 17. Bitch, you're not sick. Did it ever occur to you not to take the medicine, not to drink the Kool-Aid? It never did. It never did. It never did. We also find out that Wendy, Darling's brother, John, works at the Clouds where you can drop off your baggage. And when I say baggage, your emotional baggage, right? Your emotional and mental baggage. There's a place where you can actually go to feel lighter. You know, when you're light and you're thinking happy thoughts, you can fly. Who's taking care of said baggage? John. And Daphne reminds me of Lori from The Walking Dead. And Lori pisses me off to this day because Daphne is the type of person, if Peter pisses her off, which he's going to do because he's literally a child, and because he doesn't want to grow up, it doesn't matter with kisses, with hugs, with sex, he is still a man child. He is fulfilling his own needs. He is very selfish, and he is very me-centered, because he'll forget anybody at the drop of a dime. It's the fact that when he pisses her off, she runs to Jam. And when Jam doesn't give her what she wants the way that she wants it, she runs to Peter. And she'll tell Peter things about Jam, and she'll tell Jam things about Peter. It's a back and forth, and she plays the line like, they're hurting me. They're hurting my feelings. No, you are technically hurting your own feelings. And here's another thing that I don't know if anybody else caught on to when reading this book. Peter was meant to age up around the time that Daphne got there. So I'm going to leave it to my thought processes to believe that he did not have sex with her mom or her grandmother. I'm a think that, right? I'm gonna put that in here. But they did fall in love with that boy, just like the mermaids do, just like Calla Lily does, just like the Lost Boys do. They fell in love with that boy. What on earth would make me want to open my child's windows for a boy I used to love? That's weird. Parents are weird in books. They always have been and they always will be. That's weird. And the fact that her mama ain't around, we don't know who her daddy is, Daphne. We don't know who her daddy technically is, which means her mama could be anybody still in this story that we have not met, in this world that we have not met. And her daddy could be any character as well. It's a whole thing. And the sex was weird. It's basically how I feel is like her birthday kept being brought up because she was 17 and everyone was waiting until she turned 18 to fuck her. That's pretty much it. I do love the first person account of Daphne talking about the island and her experience of forgetting and wanting to remember and something just not being quite right. I did love all of that. It just didn't come together for me. So I gave this 2 stars, and that's our video. It's not a bust technically because I got 5 books off of my TBR. 5. One is going to be put back on there and I will pick it up at a different time. But 5 books off of my TBR, I think that's a great win for me. And like I said, not everything is going to be my cup of tea. Every book is not going to be my best, my favorite, my 5-star. And 5 of these just weren't it. And I know for a fact because I soft DNF'd Secret of Secrets, it's also not going to be a 5-star. It may be a 3.5 at best. At most, this stack is heavy. Give me a second. But again, I got books off my TBR. I used my prompts. I haven't used them in a while, but let me know if you want to see more prompt videos. Maybe it'll be a series over here. But also, let me know if you've read any of the books that I mentioned. And if you like them, if you didn't, you can tell me your thoughts below. And also, all of these books will be on my Pango. The link is down below. But also, I will see you all in another one. Bye.